Vedanta is hitting the ground running with a number of initiatives in the pipeline. And joining us to share those initiatives is Chris. Chris, thank you so much for your time. Given the dynamics that are playing out in the zinc market, supply dynamics, etc., talk to me about the expansion plans when it comes to Gamsberg.
So we're very excited about Gamsberg. We have a vision in the zinc business. I'll talk to you about the copper business a bit later, but in the zinc business, an aspiration to get to 1 million tons of zinc a year. So we're currently mining around 230 kilotons a year, and the Gamsberg expansion will take us to 500. So we're currently well underway with our expansion. A year from now, we're going to be ready to ramp up to 500 kilotons. So you can see we're already about halfway on that journey to 1 million tons of zinc. And there's another potential expansion at Gamsberg beyond that, and some potential in Namibia and at the Black Mountain mine. So we're very excited about Gamsberg. It's well underway, ready to deliver in 2025.
That's quite interesting. Over the past couple of days, a lot of the guests who've been with us have been talking about critical minerals. Let's talk about where the idea of critical minerals sits with that expansion that you've just shared.
Yeah, so I mean, this my portfolio that I look after is a base metal portfolio, largely comprising of copper and zinc. Copper, of course, the most well-known critical mineral, but because of zinc's role in making sure that steel doesn't rust, zinc gets used, and some call it a critical mineral, others call it a mineral that has critical uses. But overall, we think it has a key role to play in the urbanization, the development of the world, as it has played in the past. It's the fourth most used mineral behind iron ore, aluminium, and copper. So you know, it's a key part of what we use every day. Sometimes we don't think it is as sexy as copper, but a mineral certainly with critical uses.
Any updates on Konkola in Zambia?
Yeah, I mean, we're very excited about the journey that we've traveled and where we've got to now. So we announced in November of last year that we had concluded all the agreements with government to return KCM, Konkola Copper Mines, to Vedanta. We finished all the smaller agreements early on this year. We're in the last phase now, and that is the creditor scheme that the liquidator runs through the court process. Should take about 3 months. And then we'll be able to commit the capital that we have agreed to in the contracts, and that's $1.3 billion of investment into Konkola over the next 5 years. We start with $250 million to the creditors, and then we start investing into the asset. So very excited about to put an end to a negative chapter in the history of both Zambia and of the Konkola copper mines. I think we're entering into a new breath of fresh air happening through Zambia, led by the president's vision, and the way he's led that change in Zambia. So very excited about getting the mine back, being able to invest in it, and being part of the broader development happening in Zambia at the moment.
With that said, when you look at the business, where are the growth areas right now?
So there's growth in both our zinc and our copper business. So, for example, I mentioned to you that we're growing zinc from sort of 230 to 250 to 500 in a year and a half. We grow then and have a pipeline of assets and potential projects to get us to 1 million. Most of that development will happen in South Africa and Namibia. And then on the copper front, we have currently custom smelting and refining business in India and Fujairah in the UAE. And the development that's happening at the moment is in India, Zambia, and Saudi. So perhaps more non-traditional areas of growth, but where it's happening in the world. So we think we're very well positioned for the growth that's happening in India. We're very well positioned in the growth that's happening in the Middle East, with investments going into Saudi Arabia and into Fujairah. So we're very excited about the journey also in copper, one of the critical minerals, a mineral we know is in short supply. We know a mineral that's going to see massively higher prices than we're seeing at the moment. So that journey is underway, and we're part of it. And we also partner. I think we are a step ahead of potentially many other copper and base metal producers by being intricately involved in India and its growth, and the growth that's happening in Saudi Arabia and the Middle East. So we're well positioned with our commodities, we're well positioned with our geographies, and very excited about the growth that's underway in the base metal business.
Chris, thank you so much for making time. All the best on those expansions.
Thank you very much.
That is Chris, and for more insightful views, you can go to MITV on miningindaba.com.